Hello, it's Sten at Lundtoft. I'm back with the 555 Massey Harris diesel. I was working on the engine, the last part one, I should say. I got the engine removed from the tractor, and what I'm working on is trying to find out where I'm getting water into the lubrication oil. So that we'll carry on with that. So here's the tractor. I'm gonna haul that out so that I can get a little bit more room in here. And here's the engine. I got it laying on a table here, put on the side so I can get to pull the pistons and the liners to confirm that the O-rings at the bottom are okay. I gotta admit that after I got it apart, I'm starting to think that this is actually looking pretty good. I don't see any issues. However, I still have to take it apart though to check those O-rings. I've gotten too far to not check those O-rings now. So I'll be taking the connecting rod bottom half off on the pistons, and then I can pull the liners. So I will bring you back once I get going on that. Okay, I pulled the little pins out here, which are locking the connecting rod bottom half nuts, crown nuts, and they have to be locked for good reason, so that you don't drop them as the engine is running, obviously. And it turns over really nice. And, inch and 5/8 nut or socket is what fits on the front pulley. Anyways, let's see what this looks like. Well, it's the bottom half. Shell is still on here. Let's see. I would like to get that out. Anyways, I think I need two hands here. I'll get back to you. Yeah, that slides really nice. It pushes right up. There we go. Let's see what these are looking like. Wow. They certainly don't look too bad at all. Let's get that guy in there right away. And this one here we'll get this guy out. And that's looking good as well. Okay. Anyways, it's looking really nice. There's no scratching here or heavy wear. Very happy to see that. Let's get that piston out. Got the first piston out, and the rings are not looking too bad. The liner here is not looking too bad either. I don't know how much you can see. I'm trying with the flashlight to give you a little bit more light, but anyways, the liner is looking good. So we'll pull that one out and see what the O-ring looks like. Now I'm working on pulling that lever out. Well, it's a little snug, but I imagine those O-rings have sat there for a while. I am a little bit lucky that it already started moving. My setup here is a little out there, but it appears to be working, so I won't be spending time setting something up that would be a little bit more proper maybe. So what I found was my first setup was too small. I was able to move the liner and that was it. So I made myself a little heavier plate go on the top. I use a 3/4 inch rod now. I don't have one with fine thread, but this will have to do. And use lots of never sees on it to get some load on the threads. And then I wrap this plastic around, and I put the tape around the crankshaft so that I don't damage that the surface of the crankshaft. Anyways, I'll have to let you go for a little bit while I get this positioned again, and then we'll try and pull it. The liner has moved a fair bit. Well, a bit anyways. But what was interesting was I was getting more tension, and then all of a sudden it kind of jumped. So I think that's what the O-ring coming out of the seat. I'll keep going here, see what happens. That was the O-ring fit that let go, because now I can pretty well just pull it out here. So I'm gonna attempt to pull without using the puller here and see if I can get that line out, and hopefully I can get the block clean up the liner, get new O-rings in, and then stick it back in there. Well, this cooling water side is definitely a little bit grubby here. Holy cow, you can tell there's been a mix. We're gonna see if we can pull this out now. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, there one. Ja. Det er vist ikke en dårlig idé at få dem hævet ud. Hold da op. Der er godt nok noget skidt af kanal derinde. Pyha. Det er vist godt nok at få den ud, du. Pyha. Der er godt nok lidt. Der er godt nok kommet mig i løbet af den tid, var. Pyha. Nå, men det må vi jo have hævet ud, og så har det gjort rent. Det er godt nok, at blokken den er revet hele vejen igennem der. Nå. Jeg skal lige have styr på, hvad der er af shims. There should be some shims under there. I need to get that checked out. What do we got over here? Let's see. Doesn't feel like there's a shim at all. That's kind of odd. There should be a shim down here. There should be a shim in here. Well, I guess I'll get it cleaned out and we'll see what comes of it. Well, got one liner out. It actually came out pretty easy. As soon as I got the O-rings off the seat, it came right out. Okay, so this is the stuff I'm digging out. I got most of it out now, and I put it in this little pail down here. There's a lot of stuff. Now at least I know why I was getting water into the oil. I actually have corrosion in the liner, and there's enough corrosion that there's a hole right through. I can feel the crater on the inside. So it looks like I will be looking for new liners. Hopefully you can still get those at Gen Sales or Steiner. But that'll be the next thing to look for. Today's a new day, and the discovery yesterday was pretty, a little overwhelming, I guess. But I have since found out that I can get liners, or I believe I can get liners from Gen Sales down in Manchester in Missouri. I've written to them and asked if I can get the liners, so we'll be anxiously waiting to hear back from them. So in the meantime, while I'm waiting to hear back from Gen Sales, I will I'll pull the remaining 3 pistons and liners, and then I can start cleaning up the block and get it ready to receive new liners. Hopefully we can get them. Okay, we got all of the pistons out now, and I have taped up the crank shaft in all of the locations so that I don't end up damaging the crankshaft while I'm taking the liners out. So I'll get busy now pulling the remaining liners out. Just one thing I should mention was that I kind of missed it on the first couple I pulled out. I did not clean off the top. That's suited right up, right? It's the other 2 I pulled out. I cleaned off with some I can't remember what you call this stuff. Maybe you can tell me in the comments. But anyways, cleaning off the top end of the liner makes it so much easier to get the piston out. So don't make that mistake. Well, we'll try number 2. I got my setup again. And let's see how this one sits. It looks like it's starting to protrude a little bit more than it was. Oh yeah. Okay, I am gonna let it sit for a little bit here, and then I have a chunk here that I've been helping the other side, giving it a little bit of a convincing tap from the bottom here. So I'll do that. I'll have to put you down to do it. So I got liner number 2 out, and that is looking just as dirty as the first one. I'm now noticing that there is some corrosion at the bottom of the block. I don't know if I can get the phone to show us that. Maybe not. Maybe there you can see it. So I hope that there isn't too much corrosion, of course. I had to beef my bottom plate up, and I had to beef the top plate up because everything was bending on me. But after I got it strengthened up, I could yank that line out. So I'll try and get the last two out, and then I will go in and get a hold of Gensales and see what they can do to help me out with liners. I'm now on the last liner, and I'll try and show as the liner comes out, just so you can get an idea about how much force is actually required here. Holy cow! It's amazing how hard they sit, some of them. This last one here, cylinder number 1, is really sitting hard. Common for them, I noticed that it becomes increasingly difficult to turn the nut, to pull them out, which I guess is to be expected. But then all of a sudden they kind of jump, and that's when well, I guess the O-ring fit down in the bottom. Let's go. But, this one hasn't let go yet, and holy cow, it's tight. Something definitely gave there. Hopefully it was the right thing that gave. Let's see here. Yeah, now it's loose. Sorry for bouncing around here, but had to get on the right side of it. I'll stick the wrench on here. Well, would have been down below. Something let go. Let's see. Yeah. I want to try and get closer so you can see in there. Yeah, you get an appreciation for how much crap is in there, that's for sure. The trick when this is all done and said is obviously get it cleaned out, but then once it's cleaned, find out how I'm going to seal the bottom where the corrosion has happened. I'm hoping that I'll be able to get enough sealant of sealing on the bottom O-ring, and then possibly I might actually set it up with like a plastic metal Belzona or whatever. If I make myself a jig at the bottom, so I can set the block up vertical and then pour Belzona around, and use one of the old liners, part of the old liner as a jig, and obviously wrap it in something so that it doesn't get stuck to the Belzona. But that would give me two things. It would provide a seal for the second O-ring on the liner. It would also protect the portion that's already been attacked by the corrosion. If I can protect that with Belzona or a similar product, then that would give me a little bit of well, at least it should give me some longevity on the block. But let's get it apart first, cleaned out, and make sure there's no cracks in places where there shouldn't be cracks, other than the ones we've already identified up here on the top of the block. Well, hello everyone. So we found out why we're getting water into the oil. I got a hole right through my liners. I priced out new liners. They are about 700 US. So by the time I get 4 of those here, that's going to be a costly deal. So I have 2 of my liners that have holes in them. They're both right down low. I have attempted a repair, which I don't think I will recommend, but we'll see how it works. See, here's the second one. You can clearly see the corrosion hole. I've actually filled it with JB Weld, and yeah, I can see all the comments coming in already. Let's have a good laugh at it, and well, we'll see if it holds. This tractor is going to be running a couple of times a year. It's not a tractor that'll be going in the field. So in terms of getting it running, we'll see how the JB Weld stands up. If it does, then that's great, and if not, well, then I know where the problem lies, and I will bite the apple and buy the liners and change it out. I got new rings coming. They're not here yet. So with that, we'll finish off this story of how the water was getting into the oil, and I'll start my 3rd series when I start putting things back together. I should show here, I did clean up inside the block here, and there is a fair bit of rust down here as well. You can see it very well, but I will also attempt to fill those holes. Yeah, you guessed it, with JB Weld as well. So yeah, see you later.